Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, those bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Right on, right on. That's what I like to see right there, man. Isn't that beautiful? Other people that love our country, bring their children up to respect it and to understand what we have here, the value of our freedom in this country. I just love it, man. Well, another big week has gone by, and there's a lot going on, a lot to talk about, and I'm here to talk about it. How you doing, Belinda? It's good to see you. Yeah, who else we got in here? Debbie B. Hello, America. Right. I just gotta love it. Last stream I did was, I think, like the Grammys were on. I mean, just this week, it just seems like there was just nothing to watch. Everything was lies, lies, lies. We got this goofy kidnapping thing going on with some person's mother, you know, and there's like live streams. I swear they just start new live streamers up to cover this stuff. I can't cover it. I spent a total of, I don't know, 30 seconds maybe reading the titles of videos about it, but I'm not going to follow that. I don't care about it. It's tragic if it's really a tragedy, but it smells awful lot like distraction to me. I don't know. What other distractions do we have? We got the Grammys was a distraction. It was just a humiliation ritual that we were forced to endure. If you watched it, I didn't watch it. I watched other people clip things out of it. And I think the only noteworthy things that I got out of the Grammy Awards, which is supposed to be an award for the best musicians in the country this year, right? The one musician that I don't listen to her stuff, but Nicki Minaj came out and endorsed Trump, you know, said some good things about President Trump, and I thought that was good. And apparently Nicki Minaj was up for 12 Grammys. She was to be nominated for 12 Grammys, but she didn't even show up, man. She did not show up to the Grammys, and I got to reward her for that. She's not gonna partake in that foolishness, and that's what it's turned into, another foolishness, a display of foolishness. Hold on a second there. Let me get my my thing in there, my watermark. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, right on, Belinda. More family, your grandkids got married. That's awesome, man, isn't it? And more grandkids on the way. Hopefully great-grandma, great-grandkids on the way. Yeah, Debbie B, that was Savannah Gerthy's mother. I don't know who Savannah Gerthy is. I don't watch mainstream news, and apparently she's a newscaster on some news show that I don't watch. But man, it sounds like a goofy distraction there. The other noteworthy thing from the Grammys that I saw was a dude named Jelly Roll, who is another guy I probably heard songs of his, but I'm not into the I'm not into the music these days, you know. I don't buy music. I don't listen to music. I feel I was misled by music a lot. I used to love music, and I just don't listen to it anymore. Jelly Roll got up and did a full-on, in-your-face witness for Christ in that Hall of Demons, man. And I watched the clip of that. That was pretty spectacular, I thought. Got to give it to the guy. I'm not into face tattoos and stuff, but Jelly Roll got up front of them people and told them about Jesus. So all their blood ain't on Jelly Roll's head, right? So I gotta hand it to him for that. What else went down? We got that Fulton County raid. The FBI raided a Fulton County warehouse of all the 700 boxes of ballots and all kinds of records from the 2020 election. And we had the complete freak out of all the Democrats from that area. Got up and they were just losing their minds that day. And then there's this dude, the Fulton County chairman. His name is Rob Pitts. And I don't know, as soon as they put that guy's face on the screen, I thought, that guy's a witch doctor, man. I mean, look at his eyes. He looks just like a witch doctor in a suit, all right? And he's just a smooth talker. And he's one of the guys that has been digging their heels in the sand so that we can't look at the voter ballots in Fulton County, Georgia. And we know it was rigged. They went gangbusters in prosecuting all kinds of people that wanted to bring lawsuits about that, man. Hey, Jay Jones, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you, man. But yeah, so, and the thing about the Fulton County thing, and right away I was noticed that Tulsi Gabbard's was down there. I thought that was odd, like instantly, because it should have been Kash Patel or Pam Bondi down there if it was a real DOJ FBI raid, but it was not. It was Tulsi Gabbard's. And then since then, information has come out that Tulsi Gabbard's was also looking at the election in Puerto Rico that was obviously thrown, obviously rigged. And she went down to Puerto Rico and grabbed a bunch of those crooked Dominion voting machines, or whatever company it's called now, Smartmatic, Dominion. The name changes every year. Now it's supposedly owned by a Patriot guy, but it's the same machines, the same software. So it's all, yeah, ESS. Hart is another one. Here in Pennsylvania, we got Hart machines, HART. It's all the same thing, man. Right on, Priscilla. Probably knows the Jericho voice, I guess. Hey, Sherry Bell, good to see you. Good to see you. So we got that. I mean, this is all the good stuff that's going on. There is a lot of good stuff going on in amongst all the sideshows and discombobulators. The discombobulator. Let's just talk about the discombobulator real quick here. I don't know if you guys remember Bugs Bunny. There was a little Martian character, and he had this weapon called the discombobulator. Well, Trump was given a press gaggle conference on Air Force One while he was flying somewhere, and they asked him, what did they use? What was the weapon that they used down in Venezuela to neutralize everything down there? So obviously we've got some kind of new weapon that neutralizes weapons and electronics and people. And Trump called it the discombobulator. He said he came up with the name, so that's what we're going to be calling it right now, man. Paper ballots and tabulators you got there, Debbie B, but the tabulators are crooked too, man. So there's two machines that they use in the voting districts. One is an electronic voting machine, and some places have already illegalized the electronic voting machine. It used to be all electronic voting machines here, And that's a TV screen that you vote on. You say, I'm done voting, and then it spits out a piece of paper with all the bubbles filled in. And then you take that paper ballot and you put it over into the tabulator, which then counts it. But a lot of the crookedness was happening in the tabulators. Yeah, maybe we should call them machines the discombobulators, because that's what they've been doing. They run the ballots through there however many times they want, however many times they can get away with. And then it just changes Trump votes into Biden votes is what they did. They got proof of that. A recombobulation area. I don't even want to ask what that is, Debai. The M49 discombobulator. I could just see that little Martian dude saying that, man. That used to be like my favorite little character guy, you know, the Martian. So that whole investigation, and then it's been crickets ever since then, okay? So Tulsi's got 700 boxes of ballots from Georgia. She's got voting machines from Puerto Rico, and haven't heard a peep since then. So I know something big is on the way with Tulsi Gabbard. Now the reason it was odd that Tulsi Gabbard was there is because she is in charge of national security, and all along Tulsi's been saying things at the cabinet meetings, and that she's looking at this fraud that occurs all over the world, and the tabulators, the servers that were switching the votes are located in other countries, and that's how they're going to have to hammer this down. I'm hearing that the only reason Trump did win the 2024 election was because they were able to jam up those discombobulator machines over in Serbia, which is where one of the places where Smartmatic had their headquarters, and that's where they would flip votes and stuff, is on servers in Serbia. So that's all what's got to be happening there. Nice definition, Debai. It provides the recombobulator room provides a calm, unhurried space to recombobulate, reorganize, and collect oneself after the security screening process, preventing bottlenecks. All right, thanks for that. Oh yeah, okay, so then we got that too, Jay, the monkey video. The libtards have lost their mind. They've been calling Trump a Cheeto and an orange orangutan and a pedophile. They call him all kinds of names, but as soon as there's a 1-second clip of Michelle Obama's head on a gorilla, they just lose their minds, and Trump's a racist, fascist, Nazi again, you know. Oh, bigot, yeah. Yeah, I need a recombobulation room in my house, I think, man. Or we should have this is the recombobulation channel. How's that sound? We got a YouTube channel where we recombobulate, gather our thoughts, weed out all the fake stuff, laugh at all the goofy stuff. We got a lot of stuff to laugh at today, too. So, yeah, Tulsi's onto something there, and I'm expecting perp walks. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. They're looking at Governor Kemp down in Georgia, and I will remind you all that Governor Kemp's daughter's boyfriend got murdered on December 4th, 2020. And that was right after Governor Kemp came out and said there was something weird about the election in Georgia. And next thing you know, Lucy Kemp's boyfriend, Harrison Deal, who was working in government, he was like an aide for somebody. His car got rammed by a truck, burst into flames, and Governor Kemp hasn't said a word since then about a rigged election in Georgia. So I'm pretty sure they just scared the wits out of Governor Kemp. And then there's Raffensperger, the other guy down in Georgia. I don't know if he was the Attorney General or what, but man, a lot of crookedness going on down there. So sooner or later, and then they used all that to go after Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell and President Trump. I mean, with the whole case down in Georgia against President Trump with Fani Willis was all related to the rigged election, and Trump asking Raffensperger what happened to the votes. Trump was ahead in Georgia, and then they had a toilet leak or a water main break. All kinds of shadiness, man. Oh, it's ridiculous to keep going over and over and over, you know. Well, that was Kelly Loeffler's staffer. Okay, because Kelly Loeffler's in the cabinet now, isn't she? I knew he was a staffer with somebody, the Harrison Deal guy, the boyfriend. So all I know is crookedness abounds, and we're running it down right now. So I think this is good news, because for years and years and years, nothing happened to it. Just like the Epstein files. Like, we're looking at what's coming out, and it's slowly getting digested. I'm not paying too much attention to it because I know there's crooked stuff in there. We got the left saying Trump's in there 38,000 times. That's because they all hated Trump and they were all trying to get Trump in trouble. That's why Trump is mentioned in there. Just because you're mentioned in the Epstein files doesn't mean you're in trouble. And Joe Biden had all that information for 4 years and didn't do anything with it, man. Yeah, right on, Jay. That's right. Kelly Loeffler with the Small Business Association. Right, okay. And I thought she was shady there for a while, but then Trump picked her on the team, on the cabinet, so I guess she's okay. Hey, Glory B, are you in here? Hello, Glory B. Good to see you. Hiya, Shannon. Denise Green, hi, my trusty mod. Thank you for being here. All right, wow, somebody's got a lot of views on Reddit. Good for you. Good for you. I hope they're all really people. I don't get the whole chasing around for clicks and views. I really don't bother myself with that either. I just worry about making it through the day, every day. And also, the Epstein files are proving there's a lot of shady Democrats out there. Already, something happened over in Europe. Some guy had to step down. In addition to Prince Andrew, he had to step down from that long ago. He got disowned by the Queen. You know, right before she died, I think, he totally embarrassed the royal family over there for being a friend of Epstein. And we got a bunch of Democrats that were friends of Epstein's, and I don't think we'll get to the bottom of it. I'm hearing there's 3 million more papers that got to come out on this, man. Yeah, Jay, Kelly Loeffler is doing a good job. I heard about that too. She stopped payments to 116,000 fraudulent businesses in California. And the fraud that's exposed everywhere. And this has been going on since Doge, basically. This is just like another phase of Doge. Even though Congress got so upset about Doge, they got rid of it, basically. We wanted it, the people wanted it, but Congress got rid of it. This is another form of Doge where we got YouTubers exposing the fraud and others now, finally. They're getting to it. Billions and billions of dollars. And at the same time, we're supposed to be led to believe we're $38 trillion in debt when all this fraud is the debt. I don't think we are on the line for any of this money. Whoever frauded the government out of it, this should be coming out of their hide, right? And I just saw Nick Shirley, he just got into California. There's a couple other people in California, but Nick Shirley just got there, put a video out. I just saw that some guy was able to sign his dog up to have a healthcare service business somehow. He actually had his dog signed up, man. All right, yes, and Vance is being, he is also appointed to lead the anti-fraud task force against California. So here's a chance for J.D. Vance to shine, all right? Let's see what J.D. Vance can do. We've been seeing a lot of play out of Marco Rubio, who is kicking butt at any task that he is given. And Vance really hasn't had any, big project that he has spearheaded. So I'm eager to see how Vance handles that. Vance talked to the Prime Minister of Armenia this morning at a meeting. So he was representing our country and Trump in a meeting with him, with the Prime Minister of Armenia. He did a really good job there. He's a good talker. He answers the questions really well too. He does well with the press, which are all very important qualities to have. But I'm really excited to see how Vance tackles this problem in California. This is a chance for him to shine and give us a good reason to vote for him in 2028 in the next election. Oh, see there, Texas J. Jones's county commissioner used COVID money to buy voting machines from ESS. And these voting machines are like chintzy little computer things with Chinese hardware in there, running the Venezuelan software on it, and it's outright fraud. And I want to see perp walks. We did see a perp walk finally. I did, at least. I thought we were going to see some good perp walks with Don Lemon and the church raiders, but that turned into a humiliation ritual for us because we didn't see the arrest. There was no pre-dawn raid or anything, and then we had to endure watching Don Lemon walk out of the courthouse a free man after he was let out on bail, holding his husband's hand and to give a press conference. And then we also had to watch the two other women that were arrested for that, walking out of a courthouse holding their fist in the air, like power to the people. You know, those are humiliation rituals that we are constantly being forced to endure. Just like the halftime show. The halftime show at the Super Bowl. That was a humiliation ritual for Christians, basically. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the other one either, but I saw clips from both of them. I thought they both were horrible, but the one that was at the Super Bowl was specifically horrible because it's just the degeneracy in the dancers there, and I mean, flagrant. I don't even know what they were singing. It wasn't that good, and I didn't think the TPUSA one was that good. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't need a show while I'm watching a football game. I'm watching a football game. I don't expect to be entertained at halftime. Halftime's when you go to the bathroom, go outside, have a cigarette, grab some munchies, and come back in and watch the rest of the game. But now we're all in this bubble. I don't know when it started, but we're in this bubble where we need an entertainment at the halftime show. And I don't like it. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't care about it, you know. The Super Bowl was the only football game I watched this year, mainly because I used to be a Seattle fan. I used to live in Washington for 19 years, so I did have a little piece of my heart in that game, and they did really well. Is it porn, basically, Deb? Yeah, it looked like porn. These women, I don't want my teenage grandkids looking at those dancers the way they were dancing. It was disgusting. I don't call that dancing, you know, on the halftime show. And even the TPUSA thing, I'm just not into tattoos and face dead heavy metal music and that kind of thing, man. That's not my scene. So I don't know. I'm not the target audience, obviously, for the halftime show at the Super Bowl, because I don't watch it. I don't expect one, and I don't know. It's just I just think it's more debauchery, degeneracy, and I'm offended by it. So all I could do is complain about it on my YouTube channel and not watch it, basically. And then there was the satanic ritual at the Olympics, at the opening of the Olympics here, man. I mean, what in the world do you call this? What is this? So here we got the world's finest athletes competing, coming together to compete, which is a beautiful thing, man. And I think it's really cool that they can do that. But why do we need this big production to open the ceremonies with all this demonic devil worship stuff in here, man? There's obviously a pentagram, an upside down pentagram here. They got like the archway on fire, demons running around. It was like I don't know, man. It was yeah, Denise Green, Real America Voice had an excellent summary on the evil behind the music industry and the culture transformation for decades. That's right, and I see that plain as day now. That the music led us astray, inch by inch. It led us astray. It's hard for me to even listen to a lot of the music I used to love listening to. Okay, so there was some good stuff there. Debbie B says, TPUSA showed Kid Rock's transition from the wild music to a more gospel sound. Okay. All right, well, that's hopefully the message then that TPUSA put out there. I do endorse TPUSA's message, but I don't watch it that much. I'm just not that screen oriented. Oh, cool. They talked about the J6 song too. Okay. But this stuff here with the Olympics is just demonic, man. I think I got another shot of that. Here's another picture of I don't know what this is, the fireball. Is this the Olympic torch? I think this is the Olympic torch right here. And then we got some American athletes that are just trash talking America. Trump's made a statement about it to get them off the team then, you know. America is sending them into the world to because of their athleticism, and they don't want to talk good about our country. And that's the bad message that's out there right now with our country. It's not good. It's not good at all, man. I'll probably watch some Olympics if I got time, but I'm not, I don't know. I'm trying to just keep a grip on what's going on that's good for our country and how we're going to progress out of this quagmire that FJB put us in, man. Yeah, Snoop Dogg. I don't care if he turns Christian, you know. I'm disgusted by Snoop Dogg, man. He's been a degenerate, and it just seems like I don't know anybody to get into the music industry and not turn into that, right? I know they're out there, and I have seen some good bands that just play music for the joy of music. But it seems like any of them that get famous they got to do this stuff that they don't normally want to do. They don't need to do it, but they're forced to do it or something like that. Hunter Hess, is that one of the athletes there, or Debbie? Yeah, so that was like all distraction week. That was all this week. That's what's on TV. That, the Olympics, Super Bowl, and this kidnapping thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. Another really good thing that Trump did is they launched TrumpRx.com, which is a way that you can get cheaper prescription drugs. And any of you guys out there that are on medications, all you got to do is type in TrumpRx.com and then type in your prescription that your doctor recommended for you, and you'll find out where you can get, or you'll get a coupon to get the lowest price possible for that drug. You don't even you don't buy it from TrumpRx. They just give you a coupon to use so that you get the, what did Trump call it? The first country pricing or something like that. We have been subsidizing pharmaceutical drugs for decades now, okay? We've been paying the high prices so that other countries could get lower prices, which I don't get it, because we paid for all the research and development of most of those drugs, and I don't know. Hey, what's up, Cash? How's it going, man? Yeah, hit the like for me, please. Thank you. Tom McDonald, yeah, he was good. He came out with a new song this week. First Choice Nation. Thanks, Jay. I don't do erectile dysfunction meds, man. No, that's not for me. I don't play video games either, but that's all the commercials on YouTube. No, I don't do that. LOL, cows, USA. Let's just make sure we get your comment up here so we know that you were in here today. Thank you for playing. All right, and then Trump the other day, he was saying that the White House needs a public relations team. And I couldn't agree more. We got people putting videos out, like the Dilly Meme team has been putting out pro-Trump videos that are funny and cool, and they got good music in them and stuff. And they've been going gangbusters ever since Trump first started running. But Trump needs a public relations team. So we need to just promote, like what I try to do here on this channel is promote what Trump is doing for the country, because all of it gets swept under the rug out in the mainstream media there, you know. Like the TrumpRx.com thing. That was a 30-second news blip on all the channels, if they had that. And everybody has since forgotten about that. And I just try to promote what Trump is doing. There is a YouTube channel called White House, the White House, and it has a lot of the Trump events and speaking engagements that he does. But also in there is a really good history series of America, where he worked with Heritage University or something, one of them pro-America Christian universities put together these really cool videos about the Boston Tea Party, the Valley Forge, about John Adams, about the spy rings that they had to set up back in the Revolutionary War. They're really good videos that are really educational. It reminds me of some of the stuff that we used to watch in grade school when learning history. And we need some type of a PR team to just promote all the cool stuff that Trump is doing, man. That I mean, how we're getting to the bottom of the rigged election in 2020, how we're giving democracy back to Venezuela, how we're trying to secure North America by acquiring Greenland and parts of Canada and stuff. Yeah, Cora, the Epstein files, they want them out there. They want them out there. Well, they had them. Joe Biden had all them. None of them are new, and he didn't do anything about them. He protected the pedophiles for 4 years. Nobody was screaming at him, but now they just want to make it about Trump. I mean, this is serious Trump derangement syndrome here. We need a TDS Anonymous class too. Trump derangement syndrome is chronic in people, and they will. I don't know that they're normally rational human beings, but once they get a hold of TDS, they will hear no reason whatsoever, man. Yeah, we're getting mosques everywhere. Right, in Texas, they're building mosques all over the place, which is, I think we're kind of getting pushed into a war with the Muslims, but I would think any true Muslims would be happy to have freedom of religion in a country, right? So the problem is they don't want freedom of religion. They want to be free to make all religion Muslims, So that's where I don't want to get into like a civil war. I want to avoid a civil war. So I'm trying to team up with as many people as we can that have the same goal in common, to have a nice country, a prosperous country that we can all be free in, that we could all be happy in, we could all be smart, we can all prosper. But yeah, it's turning out it's all Democrats that are getting in trouble in there. And good, let the heads roll then. Let's hold them accountable. Know that you may be spending money with people that have done this. But just because you're in the Epstein files doesn't mean that you are a pedophile, a pedophile protector. But in the case of Bill Gates, some bad news came out about Bill Gates. I mean, what a slime ball that guy is, man. Shannon wants out of New York State. Oh, no. Well, be careful about Tennessee there, Shannon. Tennessee's got some problems, man. It seems like a cool state because you can own a machine gun. But other than that, man, I watch this dude, his name is Whistling Diesel. He just does Motorhead stuff all the time. And the state of Tennessee is on this guy's case, and it's really, really unfair, man. Oh, that's too bad, Glory B. Lost a friend because she thinks you're anti-ICE. They just assume everyone's anti-ICE, but we're not. We're pro-ICE. Let's get them out of here. So there's 2.5 million have been removed so far. That's approximately 2 million have self-deported so far through the benevolent President Trump's plan. And they took the money and the plane ticket, and I'm hearing that some of them people have already filed paperwork and were able to return. And that's the plan, If these are good, hardworking people that don't have criminal records, they're functioning members of society, you are welcome to be here in this country. But just have your paperwork all straightened out and become a citizen so that you can vote. Because you're only citizens are going to be voting from here on out. But I mean, Bill Gates was just unbelievable story about him. He got a STD, and then he thinks he spread it to his wife, so he's texting Epstein to get antibiotics that he can clandestinely put in his wife's food. I mean, it's so horrible. So horrible. You know who isn't in the files? I mean, anybody who's not in them files definitely has to get some kudos. For sure. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson has been, he's been telling us the truth about Hollywood for years, man. Bill Gates. I mean, how did we get into the position where we were listening to him for advice about what medicines to take on a pandemic? I don't get how he maneuvered himself into that position with our country. And he made millions, billions. He made billions of dollars off of that, man. Bill Gates has also, over the years, donated $500 million to newspapers and media. And that might be one reason why he's not getting reported on too heavily. Because that whole Bill Gates antibiotics for the STD story came out and has gone away already. Fox News isn't hammering home on that right now. Probably because Fox News got tens of millions of dollars from Bill Gates. He's paid $500 million over the years to newspapers and media companies. And that goes a long way. When some news like that comes up, they don't want to propagate it because they're hoping to get more money out of Bill Gates in the future, right? That's right, Shari Bell, he's buying off the people. And that's a good way to look at it, Core Shooter. Right on, the world is not my home. I'm an alien here. I'm just passing through. Amen. Amen, Shannon. We are in the end times of the Bible and pray for salvation. Amen. Pre-dawn raids. Pre-dawn raids. We did get one. There was this Antifa Captain Kyle. I don't know if you saw the video. Dude's got face tattoos. He came out and said he's Antifa. It's time to get your guns and confront ICE. I mean, he made videos about it. So, Antifa Captain Kyle got the pre-dawn raid, 5 a.m., marched him out, TV cameras rolling. He's crying. He's wearing a sweatshirt that says, I am Antifa. And so he got the treatment, and I hope that is definitely a sign of things to come, man. They just arrested about 140 protesters at Minneapolis 2 days ago, too. So the arrests are happening. Oh, Mel Gibson has his own chapel. Yeah, that's cool. And he's made some great movies, man. I mean, the movies that he made are way different than normal Hollywood movies. There was 140 arrests. I got to show you some of these, man. So there was, let's see, Jake Lang was going to go do a press conference at the Whipple building in Minneapolis, which is where ICE is stationed in Minneapolis. And that day, like 300 protesters showed up. And this was just a real bad group of protesters here. So this guy standing up against the fence behind here is the one guy who raided the church with Don Lemon. He's out. He's attending protests now. He didn't stick around for the police arrests. He got out of there really fast. The police let this go on for a while. Jake Lang drove by in a U-Haul truck with a big wooden cross and a bunch of bags of ice. And the crowd went crazy. They went insane. And that's the only reason they all showed up, was to yell at Jake Lang and throw things at him. So if you listen to the news broadcast from Fox News on that, it was they threw bottles and I don't know. They forgot to mention what they were throwing at Jake Lang. And this guy with the sunglasses on here, see that big bruise on his head? I don't even know if I can show this next picture. But they came out there, they had about, I don't know, 150 rubber dildos. And they were throwing them at people. They had big suction cups on the end. And this guy actually had one stuck to his forehead for so long that it put a big hickey on his head. And nobody there told him about it. He was on Ford Fisher's channel. He thought he was Mr. Cool. But I'll bet he still has that big hickey on his head, because he's like an old guy, man. That created a big bruise on his head, man. Yeah, Jake said he was going to show up at noon to give a press conference there. And that's the only reason all these retards showed up. And Jake just drove through. There is no way I would have gotten out of that truck with these people here. They would have thrown all these dildos at him, man. There you can see this woman here holding one in the background now. And they were sticking them on the cop cars. And then finally, oh yeah, and Patricia, the screaming demon chick from DC, they flew her out there. She was screaming at Jake, and then she went running down the road after him. After Jake pulled away from the whole crowd, it was nothing but her running after Jake in the back of the U-Haul. And she says she got sprayed in the face with something that she couldn't see, but I mean, she was chasing the truck down the road. I don't know how, and she was not like, she was just lying, man. But it seems like most of these loudmouth protesters are from DC, because we had her, the commissioner, we got Ford Fisher out there filming all this. We got the flapper boy with the gay flag or fan thing that he flaps while they're protesting. He's got a bullhorn. And there was dozens of these dildos all across the street, man. And these people are at this point, they are just making a mockery of themselves. Of themselves, man. They are definitely making a mockery of themselves. And they can't stand each other. You know what I mean? They used to come together to hate on us, but now they all hate each other now. They have no friends, and now they come into our chats one at a time, not as a group. Here's what I'm waiting to see. John Podesta is one of the Democrats in the Epstein files. He was Hillary Clinton's campaign manager when she ran for president. And I hope it comes to this, Patriots. This is how we're going to have to deal with this. It's going to be grim, but when everybody finds out what these people were doing, it isn't just having sex with underage girls, man. It is not just that at all. let's see. And in Minneapolis, they're setting up roadblocks. So people in certain neighborhoods are setting up roadblocks and requiring people to show their papers, and they're taking pictures of license plates. So they have become fascists. They have become the thing that they are claiming to be protesting about. Yeah, Cora, I'm serious. This has to be squashed. This has to be totally squashed. Because we got a lot of people like this, man. Never forget how easy it was for them to manipulate people into going full tard. This is what 50% of America became just because they said so. Oh, Priscilla, I did not see Tommy got shot with a BB gun. No, I saw he got rocks thrown at him, punched in the head. I mean, Tommy's got some balls going around them people. But I think we got a lot of people that, you know, they took the shot, they wore the mask, and now they think they're awake, you know. Now they're like, yeah, okay, maybe the election was rigged. They're entertaining that thought right now. But they still have not repented. They still have not come out and said, I got fooled. I was hoodwinked. I became a retard, you know. I think there needs to be some kind of repentance there. Yeah, and the language they're using in these Epstein files and stuff, we got to find out what it all means. Understand that you are not under oath when you're sending texts to people. And a lot of these broadcasters are going, we need to ask questions of these people, but you're going to bring them in for questions and they're going to just, they're going to say, plead the fifth. Just like Ghislaine Maxwell did this morning. Ghislaine Maxwell got questioned by the Congress and she just sat there and pled the fifth. She didn't answer any questions. She wants to get some type of a pardon or something in order to talk. So I say let her rot in prison, man. Let her serve out her prison sentence. If she doesn't want to help out and try to correct some of the wickedness she brought onto the face of the earth, let her rot in prison, man. We'll get this information elsewhere. That's a shame, Shannon, that people will, you know, split families up because of the way you voted, man. Right, and jerky can be found 380 times in the DOJ search engine. And we haven't even gotten the videos yet, Patriots. There's videos, and they're going to be heinous if they ever are able to show them. I hope. I'm hearing that Congress is now allowed to look at these documents now that are unredacted. So they are being allowed to see what's in these things. Elon Musk has said that if any of the victims from Epstein Island want to come out and start naming names, that he will provide them legal protection if they want to come out and name the names. And you remember, they paraded out all these Epstein Island victims right when Trump got inaugurated. And we haven't heard a thing from them since then. Because it's a legal quagmire for them to start naming names, man. Yeah, no wonder Dan Bongino said it made him so sick looking at all of this stuff. I heard that little statement that he gave, and there's these law enforcement officers that are going through this pedophile stuff. It's sick. It is sick. And it takes a toll on them, man. It takes a toll. But I think the people that, you know, got hoodwinked during the shot, there has to be a certain type of not repentance, but you just got to fess up. You got fooled. You are prone to be getting fooled. And start listening up about what might be true that you believe to be, might not be true, that you're still believing to be true. So Bill and Hillary Clinton are scheduled to testify before Congress, I think, in February 26th or 7th or 25th, somewhere around there. And I'm not expecting much. They're going to probably sit there and plead the fifth again. But we did arrest this guy from Benghazi, and that was Hillary Clinton's watch while she was Secretary of State under Barack Obama. Those 4 Americans were murdered at the U.S. Embassy in Benghazi. And we just brought a guy in here who was one of the masterminds of that whole debacle. And if you remember when that whole debacle happened, they said it was because there was a cartoon about Muhammad that caused the whole thing. But what we found out since then, it had nothing to do with that. It had to do with some arms some shady arms dealing that somehow our State Department was providing certain of the warlords there with weapons, and nobody's gone to jail for that. I mean, this is just humiliation ritual after humiliation ritual for any upstanding American. And right, so there are people, there are children out there that will be lost. This is what the libtards are losing their mind over. This was a really good video that Trump put on his Truth Social. And this isn't the video, but the video was about the election fraud and the crooked machines and what they found out about these machines. And then after that video was over, there was another video behind it, and it was the Lion King video with all these different politicians' faces imposed on the animals in the Lion King. And it's just funny, right? But they act with this fake outrage. One of the fake stories that came out of that is this Mondami is Epstein's son story. So that came out like a couple days ago, and some people made a video about it. They made a fake picture of Mondami as a child and his mother standing in front of an Epstein group, but it was a fake picture. It was a picture that I'd seen before with 4 men standing there with Epstein, and she was just superimposed into the front of the picture as if she was standing there. It's the fake outrage. So Mamdani is not Epstein's son. And there's like YouTuber after YouTuber just waiting to grandstand and get a bunch of clicks on Reddit if they can make some preposterous story up about somebody. They don't care if it's true or not, man. That's the world we live in. That's where we need this discernment from God to just keep focused on moving ahead. Another thing that happened was India, the country of India now, has seized 3 Iranian oil tankers over there. We got this situation in Iran heating up. And in the middle of all that is the Israel people. And, this is all contentious issues that they want us to be fighting amongst ourselves with. We elected Trump on the understanding that there will be no new foreign wars, and Trump is, he's pushing it with the Venezuela thing. Hasn't turned into a war. He pulled all the funding away from the Ukrainian war, which is great. That's exactly what we wanted him to do. So now the EU is funding the Ukrainian war, but it hasn't stopped. And then we got this Iranian thing, and Trump went in and bunker busted their nuclear reactors. And that's heating up into some type of a revolution for the people of Iran. So the people of Iran got to be hanging tough over there. And India appears to be with us in this because they just seized 3 Iranian oil tankers and made an agreement with Trump on the tariffs that we're charging for India. So there's been a reconciliation with the tariffs that were originally imposed on India. And Trump is using these tariffs as a power lever, you know. Instead of using our military to force reactions out of other countries, he's using our economic power, which doesn't hurt anybody. And I think it's a brilliant thing, man. And why other presidents haven't done it, I don't know why. Bill Clinton gave it all away. They just were insistent that tariffs don't work, and that's what they told us. But I don't know. I always thought tariffs would work. Tariffs make it more expensive for Korea to make tennis shoes, so that we can make tennis shoes here in America instead of importing them all the way across the ocean cheaper than we can make them here. And that shouldn't be that way. And that's where tariffs levels the playing field. It boosts our economy here and makes us not reliant on other companies. Man, up until Trump, they gave away every industry that we had in this country. They gave away the steel industry. They gave away the garment industry, the shoe industry, the pharmaceutical industry. They gave it all away. The car industry almost totally disappeared here in this country. The Harley Davidson managed to keep a stranglehold on the motorcycle industry, but there's better motorcycles out there that don't cost $27,000, you know. So opening up this trade, and India sells a great motorcycle that, or they manufacture a good motorcycle that a lot of people here want them because they're only like $4,000. And it's a functional motorcycle you can drive every day, and you can get parts for them and stuff. Whereas Harley Davidson is just this corner niche for, wealthy old guys to ride around on, which is cool, but it's not like a functional motorcycle that you can live with, that you can, just use as your transportation all the time, man. All right, on. You got your power back, Jay. There you go, Denise. The stock market hit 50,000 points, man. The Dow Jones hit 50,000 again. And they were saying that was impossible. And during Trump's first term, the Dow Jones was at 25,000. So it's doubled in that amount in 5 years, or 6 years. So he's doing wonders for the stock market. He's making more value to this country, bigger industry. The GDP, the gross domestic product, was almost 5%, which is an unheard of number, which is the total amount of stuff that America makes. And it grew by 5%. China doesn't even grow by 5%. And that was an unheard of number. So Trump and all these naysayers, all these economic advisors that were naysayers about Trump's agenda and Trump's plans are just getting shown to be the charade that they are, the charlatans that they are, man. And Trump is saying by the end of his term that Dow Jones is going to be at 100,000. So when you got an investment potential in the businesses of your country, where you can invest your money and make money and it grows in value. That's the name of the game, man. But if inflation erases all of that value, you've defeated the purpose. You got to keep inflation low, but GDP up and investment up, and that makes it good. And I think Trump knows what he's doing, man. And so we got something's going on in Iran. And I hope it doesn't get ugly there. I mean, thousands of people have died apparently there. It's a horrible dictatorship that's in power there right now. You can't be a Christian there because it's all Muslim. You know, they don't allow freedom of religion in Muslim countries, but they do. You can't, there's nothing resembling American freedom in Iran, and that used to be like that though. So hopefully that comes to, that they can create a democracy there, that the people can vote in whatever type of government they want. There's a lot of options, man. They can do a republic, they can do a democracy. There's all kinds of different versions of republics. They want to bring in the Shah's son and do a monarchy, but we'll have to see, man. We got a new Fed chair that's going to replace Jerome Powell someday. I don't know when. And we got an investigation going in on that $3 trillion remodel at the Treasury Department. I don't know what's going on there. But Trump said something about it 3 weeks ago, and I hold him at his word. They opened an investigation into it, and crickets since then. So we're just waiting to hear. It isn't like the investigations become the show. Congress is still trying to do this show where they're doing the investigation is the show, right? And they never amount to anything. James Comer has done investigation after hearing after inquiry on the Joe Biden family banking thing, and he came up with the fact that they had over 200 suspicious activity reports on their accounts, the Biden family. And they went, wow, this is shady stuff. And they gave a criminal referral over to the Department of Justice under Joe Biden, and it just sat on a desk over there. Nothing ever happened from it since then. Yeah, we heard about the gold bars. Maybe that was a fake story. I don't know, Priscilla, but somewhere there is a think tank that does nothing but come up with phony baloney stories to occupy people's minds, to cloud rational, logical thinking, you know? Yeah, we were hearing like Fort Knox is empty, but then I'm hearing about 600 plane loads of gold bars coming out of the Vatican over here, when somehow we put the screws to the Vatican. I don't know. The price of gold is skyrocketing. The price of silver is skyrocketing. They just tried to corner the silver market also. There were certain companies are allowed to trade in silver. This was attempted back, I believe, in the 80s by the Hunt brothers, where they tried to corner the silver market. So they put all kinds of regulations about how much silver you can trade per day, per week. And apparently, all of a sudden, in 1 week, 6 different companies exceeded their limits on how much they were allowed to trade. And the rules that they put in place from decades ago when the Hunt brothers tried this put a hold on it, and somehow or another were able to stop this takeover of the silver market. But silver's trading at almost $80, I believe, an ounce, and silver used to be like, $10 an ounce. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't understand that stuff. All I know is, like 5 years ago, I could buy a bar of silver, an ounce of silver for $15 or whatever. Now, it takes 80 of my dollars to buy that same amount of silver. Yeah, it got over 100 there, right? So isn't that a devaluation of my money though? Or what? I don't know. I'm not an economics guy. But somehow or another, we're going to get out of this Federal Reserve thing. We know Trump's been working on that, hammering on that. I don't know if it's going to end up being a digital thing or what. I don't know. That's scary to me. I don't understand it. I don't know how I would maneuver into a scenario like that. So yeah, that's the recombobulation of the week. Trying to set everything in order, what you don't need to pay attention to, what you should pay attention to. And I'm sure this week will have a lot more, but it just seemed like this past week there was just a lot you could ignore and just not worry about because it was fake stuff anyways. And we'll just keep watching we know they don't got anything on Trump and the Epstein file, so that can go on and on and on. Even though every day they're going to come out screaming about something with Trump again and again and again. So here, just so we're even, here's King of the Jungle, Trump. Just so we're even, all right? We make fun of everybody. It's not just because Obama's black that we made him a monkey. Here, we can make Trump a monkey too, see? Let's see, here's a message from your president. Stay pissed. There's a lot more coming. Definitely doing a good job, and the Trump team, the Trump cabinet is just producing results left and right. In the meantime, Congress is still diddling around with the SAVE Act. They're still diddling around if they're going to require voter ID. I mean, I just can't believe them. I can't believe them. John Fetterman, a Democrat, came out and said we should pass the SAVE Act. And the other Democrats are just excoriating them, man. We got all these people out in Minnesota, Minneapolis protesting, right? For what? Renee Good and Petty, Alex Petty, two people that were getting in the way of the ICE agents. Yet nobody rioted for this migrant. Nobody rioted for Irina Zarutska. The last 6 or 7 minutes of her life were terror. Nobody rose up and did anything like that for her. We'll never forget about her, though. Another event from this last week was the children. They were telling the kids that they could go out and protest and get out of a day of school or get out of a class at school. They're using the children now to protest. And the kids are just kids. They don't, sure, they'll go out and protest. If we get out of math class, okay, cool. We'll go walk around the block and yell stuff. It looks like fun, right? But then there you got a kid with a vulgar sign, Yeah, make a sign. We're going to have a protest. Here's how you protest. But then you're letting some 8th grader make a sign that says F Trump or F-ice. I carry that around, you know, and like my kids are walking with that kid and he's got the F-ice sign, you know. This is degeneracy, man. This is like the halftime humiliation ritual. This has nothing to do with school. Just like drag queen story hour. How come they don't read to old people? How come they don't read to each other? How come they don't read to the gay population? They just want to read to the kids. We see right through it. So we got to make our voices known with the teachers unions and the school boards where you live. Really, Jay? They were going to expel the kids if they did not protest? See, now that sounds like lawsuit time, man. And here's how I feel sometimes. This is me explaining to my friends and family that their continued ignorance is why we are still in this mess. The ones that put the mask on, the ones that stayed in their house for 15 days to flatten the curve. This is a fake story, but it's funny. The monkey community is outraged over the Trump meme depicting them as Obamas. Let's flip it around on them. We had a little Target protest here in my little town. I didn't know that retardation would come to my town, but it did. And you know who was in on it? The Mennonite Church. The Mennonite Church. They are so deceived. The same church that shut down on Easter in 2020. I got a lot more memes, but I'm gonna wind it down. Here's the perp walk. That's a real photo. This is that Antifa guy. He got the early morning raid. He got walked out. Cameras were going. Tears were coming out of his eyes. That guy's looking at some serious jail time. And they're starting to arrest more people. 140 people got arrested and probably released in Minneapolis for protesting, but yeah, Priscilla, I was shocked about that, Mennonites. No, Debbie B, that was the Amish that was selling the raw milk. And that's something we want. You know, we want to be able to get raw milk. But the Mennonite church, and then I was driving around today and I passed two other churches, not Mennonite ones, but a Presbyterian church, and they all had signs out front that said free English classes. So there's this community of people here in my area that it's called the World Council of Churches. It's Mennonites and Presbyterians and Baptists and Methodists, and they've been helping the illegals migrate to this area, and I don't know what to do about it. Yeah, Charbel, this guy's a cross-dresser. Here's a graduate from the Quality Leering Center. Picture says 1,000 words there, man. And here, LOL Kyle, I put this picture in here for you, man. There you go, buddy. I knew you wanted to see that one. There's your girlfriend. Since you came all the way into my show just to put stupid comments in there and you got no friends, maybe you could be friends with her. Hey Jerry, how's it going? We are just wrapping it up here. I think we'll end it with this. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. It's a famous quote from Thomas Jefferson. There is all kinds of great quotes at the Thomas Jefferson Memorial in D.C. This is one of them. Freedom is dangerous, and freedom is never more than a generation away from disappearing, you know. All right, Jerry Robbins is announcing that Cam Higby's just infiltrated another signal call. I just wonder, where's law enforcement, Jerry? Where's the cops? Who's supposed to be doing this? Do we need YouTubers doing this or what? It drives me nuts. Like, how come they're not? Where is law enforcement? All this stuff has gone unprosecuted for decades. I don't know. Right on, he passed the link out. All right. Give him some false leads. Well, be careful. Be careful with that stuff, man, because that's going to be I think that's going to be a big sting operation in the future. You know how they hunted down all the J6ers? I think there's going to be a big hunt after all this is over of the fraudsters and the protesters, man. I mean, they are breaking the federal law. They are interfering with federal operations. And just be careful with that, Jerry. Be careful. I'm worried about that. All right, Patriots. So there it is. That's the Recombobulator show here on 00 Jericho. I'm glad you could join me. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed so far. Tell all your friends about it. Make a video about this and put it on Reddit for me. And hopefully we'll get some more viewers, man. I have noticed a little uptick in my viewership since all the retards are putting stuff on Reddit for me, man. I don't know what to say about that. Hey, Trina! Right on, man. Good to see you too, Trina. You are one hard-working mod. You're out there on all of them, man. So God bless you, Patriots. We'll let another week go by and see what happens this week. Hopefully Trump team kicks some more butt, and hopefully we get some perp walks. That's what I'm praying for. God bless you all. This is Jericho. Over and out.